Welcome to Hiker Talk. My name is Michael, and today I want to talk to you about some cook sets. So, here we have three kinds of cook sets. We have the GSI, we have this one that I ordered from Wish, and then we have the almighty Jetboil. Let's break these down for a sec. I'm going to put these two aside and just kind of go in order of how I got these over the years. We've been backpacking for about 5 years now total, between car camping trips and also some actual mountain trips to Big Bend or Colorado and all those things. So I would say for about the first 4 years, for about the first 4 years, we had the GSI. We got this thing from the beginning, like when we started backpacking, and it was great. It did the things that we needed it to do. It was very highly recommended by another hiker friend of ours. His main point for it was that it was perfect for cooking pasta and cooking rice. And I love pasta and I love rice, and who doesn't love that after a long, long day of hiking? So this allowed us to do that, right? The thing about this one is that it is a little bit heavy and there's a lot of parts to this. Doesn't look like much right now, but here we have this thing holds water, so it's like a little bucket. It's perfect for washing your dishes once you're done eating, washing your pots once you're done eating, or even carrying water if for some reason you need some water outside of a bladder or something like that, right? Anyways, let's crack into this. So this thing, pretty simple, very sturdy. You have this little thing here, the lid. This lid has little holes at the top that allow you to strain your pasta whenever you do cook pasta in here. So that was like the big thing that this person recommended to us, as well as the REI person. I usually get good advice from REI employees. We said, hey, we heard that this is a good buy, and that person was like, yeah, it is a good buy. And honestly, it is a good buy. I don't want to make it sound negative about this thing, but let's just look at all the things that this thing has, right? So here we have 4 cups, or 4 of these little plastic things. They come with little spouts so you can drink your coffee or whatever it is that you made, maybe some hot toddies. We have some eating utensils, tiny spoons that just kind of like fold out. I think, they get the thing done. And then, these separate. The cups have the neoprene, so you can hold your hot coffee or hot tea or whatever it is you're drinking. And then you have your actual eating bowls. The cool thing on these is you can't really see it from here, but they have little measurement strips here, so you can measure how much water, if you're cooking and you need to know how much water you're pouring, perfect, you can just pour it in there. Pretty big pot, perfect for, we cooked many meals in here that were like a mix of like pasta and rice, and we bunched them together, and then we even threw some tuna in there. Sounds gross in real life, but after hiking a whole day, a calorie-rich meal like that is so good. So yeah, this really did the trick for us for 4 years. And I think for the most part, it was just that we didn't really know, or we didn't really look further into exploring different options with this. We were like, hey, we got something that works, and I'd rather get a new tent. I'd rather get a new bag. Whatever, Batman Forever, right? Yeah, so you have something like this. It cooks on something like this. This is a stove that goes on top of a gas canister. It flips on, and this is basically like a Bunsen burner from science class, right? You can turn up the power, turn it down, but you can see wind is a problem sometimes, right? I just blew it out with my breath. And when you're on the mountain, I never really had the wind put it out on me. However, there was a lot of times that you're trying to cook some rice, some pasta, and a 5-10 minute boil turns into a 15-minute boil, because the wind is just knocking that flame and sapping that heat away from the pot. and you're just starving there, right? So we always got it done. This definitely worked, as I mentioned, but there was definitely some room for improvement. It's a little bit heavy, and then all the pieces just kind of make it a little complicated. Again, great brand. Those were the issues that we ran into. And then I was like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go with something simpler. And in comes this guy. This, I got it right off of Wish. I have no idea where it came from. It has measuring lines in here. It's very basic. You got your bowl, and then you got your cooking pot. You can pull this out, hold it, sip your coffee, or just hold it while you're eating. Pretty comfortable. Then you got this, set it over the flame, not a problem. You can even toss this in the fire if you wanted to, not a problem. I think you can probably do that with the GSI as well. However, I care about it a little too much to mistreat it like that. So we never actually got around to that part. But kind of locks in like that. And you know, it fits another stove. You can fit that stove in there. And it did okay. I honestly, this was super basic and I didn't really get into it. But it was very cheap and I don't regret the purchase. I just didn't use it a lot. So fast forward 4 years, and then we were like, hey, you know what? What about getting a Jetboil? Right? So we got the Jetboil, and this thing was kind of a life changer. We kind of started looking at the Jetboil when we got tired of washing our dishes after cooking our meals. Sometimes the rice or the pasta would get stuck to the bottom of the pot, and you would just be scrubbing away forever, for what seemed like forever. The bowls, having to wash the bowls, having to wash things after you eat and you're tired and you just want to go to bed or just relax is never fun. So in comes Jetboil. We started switching over into these kind of meals, Mountain House meals. They're just freeze-dried meals. Think about it as like a really nice cup of noodles. But they're not just noodles. You have rice, you have pasta, you have just meat dishes, teriyaki. Like, there are tons of brands with similar products, and they all have some very delicious things. And honestly, after you've hiked all day and your body's starving, like, this tastes great. Put some hot sauce on it and you're good to go. The other benefit of this is you can eat right out of this bag. So you don't need to carry extra dishes, extra forks, extra this and that. You just carry your one eating utensil and you eat right out of that bag. And when you're done with it, you just fold it up, put it into your trash bag, right? So let's look at the Jetboil. The Jetboil is super compact. You have the gas canister that you can fit inside of it. You have, this specific model is the Jetboil Java, which basically you can cook your coffee on wherever you are with your Jetboil. It turns into, doubles up as a coffee press basically. You have your stove for the Jetboil, and then you even have a stabilizer. So when your coffee's ready, you push it down, right? So this works very much in the same way. You flip this out, you screw this guy in carefully. Once you get it on there, boom, and then most people, and actually most of the time, I'll screw it in before I put it on the gas canister. And what I mean by screwing it in is locking it onto the Jetboil itself. However, this is the setup right here, right? This is a measuring cup, and this thing boils water in 100 seconds. I've boiled water very quickly, even in high winds, right? So I can get to eating my meal in about 10, 15 minutes tops. With your high winds on the GSIs, like you may be cooking for, gosh, I mean, depending on how much you're cooking and how many people you're cooking for, you may be cooking for about 20 minutes, if not 30, right? So big difference in that for sure. The Jetboil is just a little bit heavier than the GSI is, surprisingly, right? With all the things that pack inside of it. And I mean like just a smidgen. It's very negligible to me. The Jetboil is just super efficient, right? It's got these, it's not totally blocked off, but it's got little springs in here, and not springs, but it's just like a coil that zigzags, and that gets really hot and also retains a lot more heat. And as this starts to boil the water, this black bars here will turn orange. And when they reach the top with orange, your water's ready to go. You can pour it into your bag, seal it, stir it, and then start a new batch for whoever else wants to eat. Super efficient, super satisfied with it. I think the reason that we stayed away from the Jetboil for so long was mainly because I watched a YouTube review where there was this couple on the AT and their Jetboil had like just crapped out on them. I think like they bent something on the stove. And I was like, wow, I never want that to happen to me. And then, you know, I started carrying 2 stoves with me. And I mean, in reality, you don't need that. You're going out for a couple days. Like if it gets that bad, you can get off the mountain. At least in the types of trips that we've taken. And I mean, it just works. And knowing that these can be fragile, I treat it as such as well, right? It's a high quality piece of equipment, and sometimes those things can be really fragile as well. So I definitely make sure that I'm not being super rough with it. But this is it. This is the Jetboil, and it's super compact as opposed to all the things that come in the GSI. I think you know which one I really like, because I probably mentioned it over and over. Whichever one you go with, you will be able to cook your meals. It just depends on what you want to eat, how fast you want to eat, and how much you want to carry. So I hope that was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Press the bell notification so you can be the first one to know when we release another video. And we will see you guys soon next time.